Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bowles Central. A couple things happened to me this week that were sort of notable for me anyway. Um, I finally finished this novel I've been working on for about a year. Um, and I also was having kind of a bad week mentally, especially today. Which is probably why I'm not like actually making a real entertainment video, rather just talking to you because it's hard to keep my mind together. If you're new to the channel, I suffer from schizoaffective disorder, which is basically like schizophrenia but with kind of like some additional mood issues, bipolar type stuff. And you know, there was a time maybe 3 years ago or so when I never really thought I'd write again. I was diagnosed with this when I was 31. I'm 35 now. And when it happened to me for the first time, when I had my first, what they call a psychotic episode, doesn't that sound fun? It's not a joke. It really, really, really isn't. It's glad that I can kind of laugh about it a little bit now. But when it first happened, it was very um, disturbing. It was very disruptive to my life, to the lives of my friends and family. And like I said, I thought, maybe my writing days were over. But about a year ago, I decided to kind of get back at it and I started this book. And what I kind of realized was that, you know, even though I've got mental illness, even though it's hard for me, harder than it used to be, much, much, much harder than it used to be, really. I used to be able to crank out a book in a couple months if I wanted to. Um, I realized that if I could just pace myself, um, it was easier. Like, instead of writing 2,000 words a day, which is what I used to do. I don't know if any of you guys are writers. Hopefully writers will watch this. 2,000 words a day is pretty good. It's a pretty good clip. But now I do about 400. I do about 400 a day, but I do it every day, more or less. And if I don't do it every day, I at least try to hit about 2 or 3,000 words a week. And I was able to stick to that, even though I do experience disruptive thoughts. I do have delusions a lot of the time. Things that are not real seem very real to me sometimes. Scenarios, people. I do hear voices. I do. And I do have mood swings and I have all the stuff that goes along with schizoaffective, and that's just the reality. And I kind of realized if I ever really want to go beyond that reality, I was going to have to try to put in some work somehow. So I stuck with the 400 words, and slowly but surely this book took shape, and it took me about a year, like I said. But I finished it a few days ago, the rough draft of it, and now I'm kind of going through and starting the revision process, which is satisfying because that's kind of my favorite part anyway. I don't like the actual drafting. It's always the hardest part because you actually have to use your imagination full stop, which can be tricky even when you're totally mentally sound. Um, and it just kind of called to mind that writers are an interesting bunch of people. We tend to like to be alone. We tend to have very fertile imaginations, and we tend to kind of have some mental illness. I mean, I have met in my career a lot of writers, and I don't think that many of them were what you'd call completely completely sound mentally. I mean, not many that I have met have schizophrenia per se. But God, so many of them have depression. So many of them are bipolar. So many of them have things that are more serious than what I have. And those guys, man, I applaud them so much. Um, I don't know what it is. I don't know why writing attracts mentally ill people. Or maybe it's just that, or maybe it's just that it's a solitary thing, and you can kind of disengage from people and disappear into your own world, and it's sort of therapeutic writing. You know, I think anybody who even just keeps a journal or a diary or just like daily writing things can tell you that it's therapeutic. So I guess the message of this video today, I had a really disappointing week otherwise, because I was supposed to meet up with a friend and I never managed to do it. I was supposed to go see my dad today and I couldn't do it because I just woke up and I was having nightmares all night. And even now, there are intrusive thoughts. Even now, not at the moment, but earlier, there were voices. And I can't ignore that, and I can't deny it, and I can't pretend it doesn't exist. I don't know that I have to put it all over YouTube, but again, I needed a video today and I wanted to talk about writing. It's a hard job. It can be. It's not exactly as romantic as non-writers, people who want to do it but never get around to it, kind of think it is. But it is a satisfying career choice. It is harder for me now, but I'm proud of myself for getting a book done. I hope to publish it. If I don't get it published through a traditional publisher, I'll doubtless publish it myself and advertise it right here on Jeff Bowles Central, because everybody loves my book ads. Oh yeah, and just keep trudging forward. Just keep doing the best you can day to day. I think, I think for me, it's not about a career anymore. It's just about having an outlet, having some place to vent and decompress and share my worries and share my life and share my concerns and my fears and my experience. So, for all you writers out there who suffer from mental illness, which is probably most of you, again, writers, I won't use the word crazy. I don't like the word crazy, but we're a crazy ass bunch, okay? Um, and I've always been an advocate for pushing. Just keep pushing, just keep dreaming, just keep trying to make it happen, trying to make the dream come alive for yourself. And this week at least, I learned that I can still do it. I can still produce something that I'm proud of, or will be once it's actually revised. Um, and you know what? The goal is always to keep pushing for me, to keep making. And I didn't write, like I said, for a few years. So I guess I just wanted to share the good news, even though it was kind of a disappointing week otherwise. I got a book done. Hurrah! Hurrah for Jeff Bowles and Jeff Bowles Central. Like and subscribe. Barrel of laughs. Mm.